Joey B, man, with stats and hands, spilling numbers like grains of sand. Fantasy talking about diamond dreams, chasing players, whispering their schemes. Oh, Welsh, breaking it down real slow, voices howling in the radio's glow. Talking monsters on the baseball field, wizards swinging bats and magic shields. Fantasy baseball in the night, podcasters giving us that sight. Question marks and stars collide, dreams of glory never hide.
Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P, Joe P, Zapia, and you wanted the intro. You got the intro today. We got to bring it back and fix it around, though, but we didn't want to not play it just for fun because, well, we like to have fun around these places. We're here on our Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros, live every single day, noon Eastern time. Join us there. I saw our subs just blew up over the weekend, which I love to see. And not only did that blow up, but also the Yankee bats blew up. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about injuries. We're going to talk about bets. And we're also going to talk about the reason, again, that we're moving over to Twitch is because what we're able to do on the YouTube, an all-time record of a leading off episode, not one, but two, but three times as many views on that episode. Very cool. I just want to thank everybody out there for subscribing on the YouTube channel. Remember, the show will be on YouTube every single day, so don't worry about that. Welsh, that was really cool to see that everybody came over to Twitch to watch us live today to support us and also on the YouTube channel. Do you feel the love? Because I feel it.
I do feel the love. Yeah, a little conjointed there. We got to like watch it physically for everybody, but yeah, on that little video there. But yes, we all-time record episode of leading off on the second episode. It was funny because it wasn't the first one too. The first one was like, oh, okay, very good.
Everybody was too busy complaining about MLB TV not working that day.
Yeah, I love it. Well, guess what? It's Panic Monday, and we've got lots of other things to complain about, from the utensils they use on the field to the players that you're putting in your fantasy lineups. We've got all the panic and all of the chaos that you could possibly handle.
All right, let's jump right into it. Also, shout out to Trill, first time on Twitch. That's what we love to see. We love seeing that. Awesome. All right, so let's jump in with 2 feet here because we've got the Yankees. We got to talk about this. Incredible weekend for the Yankees. They're on pace, by the way. This is not made up. You know, normally I like to be a little hyperbolic for comedy's sake here on the show. They're on pace for 810 home runs on the season right now. 4 home runs, including 3 straight in the first inning, 20 runs against Milwaukee on Saturday. I was watching as I was cleaning up the house, and I thought that like something was on a loop or they were showing, like, because I was going in and out, like, what? It's another home run, another home run.
Is MLB TV messing up again? Are they just relooping the same play? No.
Maybe that was part of it. But the interesting thing was, the Torpedo bats became a bit of a question mark. Now, Anthony Volpe, who has multiple home runs recently, he's using it. Jazz Chisholm, who is on fire, is using it. He was 3 for 4 with 2 homers. His exit velocity, by the way, Welsh, around 90 last year. This year, it's at 105. I looked into that because I wanted to see what's going on. Now, these bats, they are not illegal. They are legal. They were made by some MIT folks. Some of the bats from other teams made by some community college, I can only assume. But basically what they're doing is they're moving the barrel a little bit and focusing on where certain hitters tend to make more of their contact. Not everybody has great barrel rates. So basically, if you don't have a good barrel rate, that's okay. We'll just move the barrel for you. Some other teams, I think Junior Caminero said he's got one. A couple other teams. Reese Hoskins, I saw, he said, I just ordered a dozen after this weekend. So we'll see what goes on there. We actually have a picture, in case you didn't see what it looks like.
Oh, okay. Great.
Here's a picture of what the bat looks like right now. So there you go. So the bat kind of looks like that a little bit. You know, it's not very noticeable, Welsh. That's the big part I want.
I think I bought one of these for my kid at a game one time. That's a good look. Yeah, no, there's a little bit more barrel, not a ton, guys, but that's a big old bat. You know, fun fact too, by the way, is this bat has actually been around since last year. Drake Baldwin talked about using one of these in the AFL. So this is not like the newest thing, but I actually, everybody hates it and everyone's like, MLB's got to look into it. I think it's great. I think like good. Like I love innovation. You know what? Like of all the sports, there's no more innovation in any other sport than baseball, whether it is willing to change the base paths, fake and pretend you're not changing the baseballs at every moment and seams, and allowing the bat. And all it is like, I guess there's a certain amount of wood, if you will, and they're just moving some of the wood from the top into the barrel. And it's super smart. If we're going to sit there and be high analytical, it is utilizing the highest contact point of a hitter and just putting the barrel there. If that's legal, good on everybody for doing it. I'm all for it, but careful what you wish for, because we are going to have a whole new version of fly ball. I know multiple people have talked about it. Home run to fly ball ratio is up like it's never been before. You want it, by the way, you want to try to get pitchers to stop throwing 100 and blowing out their arms and get back to pitching. I don't think making the home run and barrel rate even higher is going to help to any of that. I am fascinated to see if baseball tries to counteract it with pretending to another seam issue in there. But hey, man, I'm for this thing. Not every player's using it. Ironically, you pick Judge, and he's one that's not using it.
He's not, but
a lot are.
And you know what? Look, it's fine. I mean, technology, it just seemed to come out of nowhere, but apparently it did not. It was just on the down low. And I think you're going to see a lot of copycat people. It's a copycat league, and it's a league that's looking for offense, and a league that always is going to make it difficult for pitchers. So get ready, because some of these pitcher ERAs might start flying too. The other thing I will point out, the Brewers pitchers were awful. They were familiar with Cortez. They lit Cortez up. Awful. A lot of some of the other ones were too, but they also, I want to say, the velocity of the pitches they hit out were all between 85 and 92. So when you're throwing batting practice up there, it doesn't matter. You know, what kind of bat? Using a fungo bat, it doesn't matter. Balls are going to go out. So that's the main headline. We'll monitor this. It's something to keep in mind in your Yankee Stadium too, when you're looking at home run props for guys now like Chisholm and Volpe and whoever else is on here, because different bat, smaller ballpark, lesser opponent, a lot of possible things there. A sigh of relief. Jose Ramirez, everybody, including me, yours truly. I just drafted him in our FantasyPros league. And then immediately sprained right wrist. But good news, he was just day-to-day. All the imaging came back clean, so you can breathe, everybody. Jose Ramirez is okay. He might even play today. I haven't seen the lineups yet, but my guess is he doesn't play today, but we'll get him at some point this week. Jacob DeGrom was back. 5 innings, 6 Ks, 2 walks, no runs. The velocity was sitting between 96 and 98. Welsh, what did you make of the Jacob DeGrom start yesterday?
Yeah, I liked it. It was really interesting because early on, he really didn't get any strikeouts. If you were playing a strikeout prop, I didn't. He had no strikeouts in the first inning. And I think he ended the second with 1 or 2 or something like that. And part of that was in the first 3 innings. I believe Lance Brozdowski had mentioned this, that he started throwing the changeup, and he threw the changeup in the first 3 innings a whole bunch, and it worked pretty well. That ended up having a 15% usage. That changeup had a 60% whiff rate, which led to later in the game, fastball slider going ballistic. He went primary slider in this one, 40% slider, had a 50% whiff rate. Fastball did not get a bunch of whiffs, did not get a bunch of called strikes, but he essentially used the fastball to just set up that changeup, and specifically that slider. That slider was absolutely dominant. I thought it was a fantastic start. He was super efficient. It took 70-something pitches for him to get through 5. And I wonder if it's going to be something to track, if, maybe using a changeup earlier on in counts is going to set him up to later big strikeouts. In the betting market, watch for maybe his strikeouts to come back down. But I thought it was massively encouraging for Jacob DeGrom here in the health and just everything. And I don't know. I know you're like not super into Jacob DeGrom, but the outing just screamed positivity. And some of the pitch mix change was also something really interesting to monitor. Instead of him just trying to throw, just try to throw 100 at every point. He doesn't need to necessarily do that. He hit 98, but he sat 96 in this start.
Yeah, I'm going to look positive, of course. Don't mistake it. I'm rooting for Jacob DeGrom. I like Jacob DeGrom. I just didn't want to pay the cost for Jacob DeGrom because I thought it was a terrible investment. And I'll stick by that. It's April tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes as time goes on.
So Mayor brings up a really interesting point. He goes, DeGrom's changeup looked off to me. It was sailing and staying up in the zone, but he was good anyway. But part of it was like his change. Like, no pun intended, he was throwing a changeup more early on in the game that was setting up this later slider and fastball setup. It's going to be interesting to see. To your point, if he's throwing more of a changeup that he's uncomfortable with, you could see some iffiness in early starts, but also this could be the setup for just big strikeouts. We might be in store for like a really interesting, good Jacob DeGrom season, but we're going to have to watch that changeup usage.
And you got questions, you could drop them in. We'll try to get to some questions today too. Would you drop Nimmo for Shaw or Abreu? Nimmo fell to me in the draft, and I took him just on principle. I would not drop Nimmo for Abreu for sure. Shaw's interesting. It depends on your roster construction, but I'd rather have Nimmo.
Man, it's close. I am big. 41% yesterday. Wilyer Abreu's ownership was across. I don't remember if it's just ESPN or Yahoo we track on Fantasy Pros. Some of the things, it's all four of the sites. But regardless, I know like some people are going to be like, Wilyer Abreu is not available. Wilyer Abreu is available under 50% of leagues. Mm-hmm. You got to pick him up. Like him and Mackenzie Gore were the two players that, okay, but not even while he's hot. Like great bat speed, good power. He's healthy. And I think that's what's super underrated about him. I might consider Shaw for him if I really needed some outfield help. I think you might be shocked and surprised at how close those two guys are. I'm not dropping Nimmo, but I'm very, very pro Wilyer Abreu if you can figure it out.
I think Abreu hears the footsteps of Roman Anthony. That's what I think, personally. Nuckin wants to know, speaking of panic, someone dropped Tolia. Would you drop CES or Garrett Mitchell for him? He's your guy, Welsh. What do you do?
Ooh, I don't think I could drop CES right now. I think he's starting to lock in. I think he was hitting 4 yesterday, right behind Ellie, which you really want to see. But I would be okay with dropping Garrett Mitchell. Like I like Garrett Mitchell and stuff. He's at the end of the draft. I think Tolia is going to start to get going. I've obviously been pro him, so I would be cool with that.
All right, let's move on. Spencer Schwellenbach, very good yesterday. It's funny, Robbie Ray was very good yesterday, and the things just kind of unraveled. Was he perfect? I think in the first 5 innings, and then things went bad. Waiver wire, as you were saying. By the way, make sure you follow us on social media. I just put out a waiver wire video too of guys even still floating around there after waivers have run that you might be able to pick up. Abreu, 41% rostered. Lazardo, who had a huge day. We'll talk more about that later in the show. Jeffrey Springs. Remember I kept talking about Jeffrey Springs towards the end of the year? Well, guess what? 31% rostered. Manzardo, another one of Joey P's guys. He's gotten off to a good start. Torkelson, too, 27%. So lots of good there. Rookie time, getting caught up on some of the rookies, the good and the bad. Kristian Campbell, hot start, good exit velocities, first home run. Also deep into talks for an extension. So, the Red Sox have not pulled any punches here. They know exactly what they think of Kristian Campbell. They want to lock him up. They don't want a similar situation where like Mookie Betts 2.0 again, where they
this
just
is what you do.
Player.
But this is what you do with these young guys. You get them locked up. The Diamondbacks just did it with Brandon Pfaadt. This is what you do. Really interesting about Kristian Campbell outside of some of the success. And I told you guys, I have 2 AL Rookie of the Year bets. I did that I got 25-1 on Cam Smith, which is super fun. But before that, I got 7.5-1 on Kristian Campbell. Kristian Campbell is putting up really high, like top 10 bat speed numbers in Major League Baseball, and also putting up big hard hit numbers. I think he had like a 112. His average EV is low, but it's this is early in the season, but he's already put up like a 112 max EV. So big hard hit, which you really love to see. Incredible bat speed, which is working through. That's something we're going to talk about. Devers, that's ticking down. There's some underlying elements that just make me feel really, really great about Kristian Campbell, and seeing those two things click with some of the success. Kristian Campbell, I think, is in a really, really good spot right now and is going to continue moving up that lineup.
B Weezy, how are we feeling about Dylan Cruz? Funny you should mention him, B Weezy, because he's next on our list to talk about. 0 for 11, 8 strikeouts. Is panic setting in on this first Monday of the MLB season?
Yeah, it's. I had questions about it yesterday. He is getting eaten up. There's, righties, he's going down to 8. Lefties, I think he moved up. Sliders are killing him. I think righties are killing him right now. Someone asked, like, how many more strikeouts can he have before he's sent down? I do think there's a Jackson Holiday potential in him. If it gets bad, there's the potential for 2 weeks from now, if it continues like this, maybe they do send him down. I tend to think not. And obviously it's 3 games. Let's let him adjust and stuff as a rookie, but there is some panic, guys. And I would start putting him on the bench for a little bit because right-handed hitters are absolutely destroying him.
Well, right-handed pitchers are certainly.
Pitchers. I'm sorry. Pitchers.
You know what he needs? Hitters. Anthony Volpe's bat. But that's not the only young guys we're going to talk about today, because everybody's favorite segment is back. It's time for Prospecting with the Welsh. That's
Yeehaw!
right. Woo! We're going to be prospecting, mining the minor leagues, try to find us some prospects we want to be adding to our rosters. Let's start off with Kyle Teel, who has been red hot here to start the year. Kyle Teel, part of the Garrett Crochet trade, coming over from the Boston Red Sox. So a huge part of that deal, basically the part, the main piece. And interesting enough, I still can't believe that they got Garrett Crochet and didn't have to move Anthony Campbell or Mayer or any of those other guys. They asked us for Mike Mayer. I said yes. Welsh said no, and they ended up not taking him. So what are you going to do? At the end of the day, Kyle Teel off to a good start. The power is certainly there for this left-handed bat.
Yeah, so Teal's really interesting to throw in here when we're talking about it. It's early in the season. AAA has started. We don't even have the rest of the minor league season, but it's still, we can look at stashing prospects. And Kyle Teel is a fascinating one. 2 catcher leagues, I think you should really pay attention to him. Singular, it's something to watch for. He's been an absolute hitting machine since he's gone down to AAA. Going into yesterday, he was already hitting over 500, couple homers. And what I think is most fascinating about it, and this is a balance and a dance you have to do with prospects, is you've got to have the balance of their talent versus the potential spot for them to play in. We're going to talk about one of those guys here, maybe the most talented prospects in the game with where's his spot. Kyle Teel, though, is in a situation that, do we really think that Corey Lee and Matt Thaiss are players that can hold him down? No, I don't think so. They sent him to AAA with the potential of going to the majors. I don't think they're in a spot where you want to hold him down for extra years. I mean, anything is possible if he struggles, but I think this really big hot start, also with the White Sox winning a few games, that you're only a little bit more struggles out of a Matt Thaiss, maybe not Corey Lee, but a Matt Thaiss from Kyle Teel coming up. So the very, very first weekend of the AAA season, Kyle Teel really popped off, and he's a player that you got to keep on your mind.
All right, next up, let's talk about Bubba Chandler. Everybody's been talking about him in the preseason, another one of these pitching prospects from Pittsburgh. So what's the 4-on-1 on Bubba?
So Bubba Chandler, one big thing we're going to see is he is pitching tomorrow. He is pitching on 4-1. So if you guys want to start off, it's not an April Fool's joke. Hopefully the line is also not a fool. But Bubba Chandler is going to get that first start, and I think it's going to be really, really telling to innings. I think they might build him up a tiny bit. There is a battle between him and Thomas Harrington, but I will say this, Thomas Harrington's one of the best minor league pitching prospects out there as well. Harrington seemed like the short gap they would go with him. If they're in a spot right now where we're just waiting a bit until one guy comes up, and obviously the Jared Jones scare, or maybe it works out being good, I think Bubba Chandler, when they decide to go with a main guy, is going to be at just an absolutely phenomenal big fastball. They've also given us the blueprint of pitching prospects coming up in Jones and Paul Skeens. And if the Jared Jones injury is worse than thought, I think the worst case scenario is Bubba Chandler is up in 6 weeks. I think there is a possibility that we could see him at the end of this month. This is prospects to stash and or monitor. It is very, very early, but you got to keep, if you have a top 5 list of prospects you should stash right now, Bubba Chandler should be on it. And let's pay attention to that April 1st start.
Teel, I've moved all the way up to the top of mine stashes because I just feel like, as you mentioned earlier, this pathway is so clear and potentially so quick if he continues to hit. Let's go to another prospect here. Next on our list is Nick Kurtz, Athletics first baseman. Now, not much room at the end for him, but what is about Nick Kurtz do you wanted to bring out for the people today?
So this is the toughest one. So, man, it is literally like guys in front are killing me here because Nick Kurtz, this is another one of those absolutely hot start in AAA. That's an aggressive assignment that they decided. Nick Kurtz was just drafted last year. They didn't go with even like the Christian Moore, go and throw him and, put him at AA or whatever. They threw him right at AAA. Kurtz has gone right in and started hitting. I mean, you want to put a torpedo bat in someone's hands, put it in Nick Kurtz's hands. That dude, really great contact. You're not going to fool him inside. Big, big power numbers. Legit, the only thing holding him back right now is that the guys in front of him with, I almost did the Oakland thing, with the A's, the Sacramento, is that Tyler Soderstrom is off to a really hot start. He looks really good. And they got Brent Rooker at DH. Nick Kurtz does not have position flexibility. That's a big thing that's holding him back. Also, Soderstrom does as a catcher, but you got Shea Langoliers. So I'm not 100% sure how they do that. If Soderstrom or Brent Rooker were to be hurt, I think Kurtz is up immediately. if you get a big struggle bus going on, Kurtz would be up. The problem you have here is the blockage versus the amount of minor league time. This could push into May or even June. But if you're going to do an early stash, this is what this is all about right now, about a week. Early stash, Nick Kurtz being at AAA, having that hot bat, and being the future of this team in a minor league ballpark is phenomenal. We might have to pay attention to him more later in the season, but we're looking out for Nick Kurtz right now.
Who's more blocked right now, Nick Kurtz or Roman Anthony?
I think Nick Kurtz right now. That's a great question. We're going to talk
even
about
with
Roman
Yoshida potentially coming back at some point too. I mean, then that gets really crowded over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to say because you're right. But I think Yoshida is trending on a major downward spiral. It seems like there is there's one physical move this team could make, and they could get Roman Anthony up right now, and it would be with Rafaela and moving around the outfield. But if they do love Yoshida and they don't move him or something, yeah, it does block. Both of these guys are blocked. That's the kind of sucky thing. But that's also why I'm adamant. If in this first week, if you are a speculator on prospects and a pick up the biggest, best names if there is an injury or something crazy happens. And then as things start to show out a little bit more and we have higher sample sizes, then we can make more calculated, educated guesses of when guys are going to come up.
All right. I don't usually like to recommend starting pitchers on the Colorado Rockies, but Chase Dollander, clearly one with talent. So talk to me about Dollander, what you see potentially going forward for him.
I think everybody is with you. Nobody wants to do the pitching prospect in Colorado. I completely understand, but he is a very unique talent. Had his first start this weekend. It was on Sunday, went 4 innings, struck out 5, give up 6 hits, 2 walks, an earned run. Very, very good start. The 4 innings is big key. It's a multi-pitch arsenal that even he has talked about. He thinks he can get into Colorado and he can avoid losing some of those big spin numbers. He's a massively efficient college pitcher out of Tennessee. He almost made the rotation. Colorado pitchers are kind of icky, but Kyle Freeland played well out of Colorado. I think Dollander could be a pitcher that could even succeed outside of just post-Colorado starts. To me, he is a guy that you need to keep a lookout for. I think he could be up very, very soon in Colorado, and beware of your ratios and stuff like that. But Dollander and Bubba Chandler are the top 2 pitching prospects that I think have a shorter timeline. Like Andrew Painter's the number 1, but we know he will not come until the back half of the year. So I'm still in on Dollander.
There you go. Make sure you continue to follow all of Welsh's work on prospects over at FantasyPros.com and check out Prospect One, his podcast as well. And that, my friends, is the first of 2025's Prospected with the Welsh. We love it around these parts. All right, let us get to the 3 up and 3 down. Before we get there, let's shout out some of our new subscribers here to the channel because we got a lot of them over the weekend, Welsh. What do you see? And by the way, everybody, when you subscribe, again, you get access to the Home Run channel, which is a premium feature, but because you're special and you're with us on Twitch, you get access to call your home runs. It's still very early in the contest, so make sure you get in on that at our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat, and go into the Home Run channel. Welsh, who's new hanging out with us?
Joey doesn't even have a homer, so you can come in and you're already beating Joe.
I started off slow last year, too. You remember? First week and a half,
yeah, you went
slow,
rocky.
and then it just rocket ships.
And by the way, when you do it, not only do you get the channel, you get the Home Run channel on our Discord that you can play a part in, but you get rid of ads. Just want to point that out again. Ads go away when you have a sub. But we had Dextini subscribed with Prime, Solar subscribed with Prime, the Fisher King, D's, a couple of our subs just during this, tons and tons of new followers in here.
And new custom emotes as well. We got Glitchy Joe and Puppet Joe.
We'll bring that one up right there from Fantasy Pros right there. We have 2. You guys can't quite see this, but Glitchy Joe and Puppet Welsh right there are just the Puppet Welsh one is absolutely phenomenal. I want to make stickers on it. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's doing the follows.
Which we can't figure out why. Again, it seems like just a StreamYard issue because everything else I do is fine on every other platform. So who knows? What are you going to do? Mike Mayer saying, I started off cold last year and then started calling Ohtani and Judge every day. And guess what? There's no rules that I can't. So, Mayor, I got 2 words for you. Yeah, right there, buddy. That's right. It's going back to 1998 right there. All right, let's get to 3 up and 3 down with some fun stuff. Jesus Luzardo, was he good. 11 strikeouts, 2 earned over 5 on Saturday. Jordan Westberg, 4 for 5 with 2 homers on Saturday.
So
Josh Naylor reached base all 5 of his plate appearances. So happy Welsh there for his Diamondbacks. Dutoy down. Bailey Ober pounded for 8 runs, but don't fret. Last year, the same thing happened. I want to say like his first day ERA is like one of the worst ever starts in baseball, always, every single year. And then he's fine. So I don't know, whatever it is. He just doesn't like this first start, but it's wild. Michael Harris. I know, more of an under guy. Michael Harris, by the way, 0 for 3 strikeout for the Braves. Also, so far hitting 0.67.
You know, I just want people to know.
Wait. 0 runs, 0 RBI, or and then no stolen bases as well. There you go.
I just want to point this out that like I did some work on Joe does the show sheets always, but I've been kind of helping out and doing some stuff. I want you to know that I had Joe took off that the Diamondbacks had the biggest comeback of the season, came back down by blah, 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 beat the Cubs, incredible output. He took that off, and then he put in that Michael Harris went 0 for 3. I just want you guys to know the same thing that
it's not the same things because one was in ups and one was in downs. And although that is very fun, I think at the same time, you have to give the people more fantasy stuff, right? That's what you got to give them.
Yeah, that's what
I'm just giving.
Okay.
I'm just giving fantasy stuff. I was trying to find it. I think Vlad Sedler had it. Oh, there you go. Vlad did have it. I found it. So first games of the season for Bailey Ober: 12.36 ERA, 2.14 WHIP. All other games, 3.42 ERA, 0.98 WHIP. I'm just saying. This is your window, everybody. This is your window.
Isn't it weird? There's these guys out there that like, you know, it's like what Simeon is a second half player. And then you have these first, it's just so weird.
Mark
how there's
Teixeira was notoriously
Tyler O'Neill hits a homer on opening day every year. Isn't it just weird?
By the way, Tildo Baggins, what happens if a player hits multiple homers? You get them all in one day, Tildo. That's what you get. We've had a couple questions about Mason Wynn. So let's get into Mason Wynn. Bad start, hitting low in the order. Are you freaking out?
I don't know if I'm freaking out, but am I concerned? Like, yeah, he's hitting at 9 in the order. He's been kind of piss poor. He's got no potential to move up right now. So sure, if there's somebody, would I drop Mason Wynn for Wilyer Abreu? Yes, I would. I would do that. If you're looking for middle infield help. So here's a prime example. This is a guy that I'm very interested in. I did a little thing on my ITL Patreon of like different pickups. Under 10% ownership right now is Jorge Polanco. The Mariners stink, but Jorge Polanco really looks like he's the only guy that's consistently hitting. He's under 10% owned on ESPN and Yahoo. Would I drop Mason Wynn for Polanco? Maybe. Like, I think you should wait it out for Wynn. There's good speed, good contact, but could you? You could do it. Let's wait until next week or the week after, but it is pretty bad. I mean, listen, there are guys, I'm trying to get most of the crazy panic, freak out, and lose your mind stuff out of my brain.
How about this one? Otto Lopez or Polanco? Lopez has been very good to start.
I would go with Polanco, but yeah, Lopez has been good and hitting in a prime spot. But like, would I freak out? Am I really freaking out about all these guys? No, but am I a little concerned about Wynn? Yes. Am I a little concerned about Cruz? Yes. Am I a little concerned about the guy we're about to talk about? Yeah, but nothing that is making me go ballistic right now. I'm not going to drop Bailey over and move him just because he gave up a bunch of runs on his first one. But you need to store it in the back of your mind of panic, but not freak out.
I knew you were going to freak out when I took the Diamondback stuff out. I knew you were going to mention it on the show live. I knew
it's the biggest comeback of the season. They're down 4
and you brought I knew you would get it in there anyway. I wanted more things in here in this section. And of course, you can't have a down section without Rafael Devers right now. Somebody send this guy one of those torpedo bats. He is 0 for 16 with 12 strikeouts. So if you're in a league where if you're in a league where strikeouts are hurting you, my God, he's killing you right now. The swing, by the way, is down 3 miles per hour, which is also interesting to me. That says the bat speed being behind, that shoulder still not strong. That's what.
Yeah,
that's
I was going to say, Joe. Your connection's really rough there with your audio. Your audio is going out, but I think if everybody heard, it's what I was going to say is the thing that's weird about Devers the most is the bat speed is down. I saw someone did a rolling chart on bat speed. We're down to some of the lowest numbers we've ever seen with him. So like, is he striking out a bunch? Like we could be like, oh, well, he has to go play DH and it's in his head a little bit. And, it's beginning of the season. Like we can build some excuses for how bad this is because he's been an incredible player. But then there's also some underlying stuff right now that speaks to a really bad story. I am concerned, but I don't know what to do because last year, you want to talk about the year over year things. Remember how worried we were about Rafael Devers at the beginning of last year with the injury stuff and slow start. So I'm not sure, I don't think this is going to make you and I breaking him down in a trade video to go and buy him or sell him. But I'm going to keep a close eye on it because that is an absolutely insane. He's the only guy with 12 strikeouts and like 16 at bat. Like, that's crazy. That's craziness.
Am I back now?
You are back.
Now?
You sound great.
All right. So, yeah, 3 miles per hour less. That's what I was trying to get to earlier when Welsh picked up the ball. Thank you, Welsh. Good job there, buddy. To me, it says the shoulder's not healthy. That's what it says to me. And he's not generating the same bat velocity, and that's a problem. The bat
Could
speed's
he
not
pull?
there.
Could he pull a James Harden, though? Could he be wearing a fat suit, playing bad, and then he gets traded, and then all of a sudden he's
100%,
okay,
yes.
50
and
pounds
I think,
less? And
let me tell you this. I'm not going to put it past the Red Sox to deal him because I think a lot of teams look at that contract. It's very team-friendly. When you consider Vlad Guerrero Jr., what he's going to get this offseason, and you saw the Soto contract, there's a lot of teams looking at Devers going, well, if he will DH or maybe we'll let him play third base because we don't care, this opens up more money for them to sign Kristian Campbell to a long-term deal, to sign Crochet to an extension, maybe Roman Anthony too, and continue to do all that. Man, that's a really good situation there. And if Devers is going to pout and be a little, what about it, then so be it.
So, let me throw this out here. When we were doing the prospect segment, we had moved actually the most important guy. And then when we kind of talked about him, I didn't get what I wanted to get on it, but Roman Anthony was kind of number 1 on the list. Just had a 2-homer game. Like huge hot start to his first couple games. He's going to push the envelope to this. He is on that list of those guys that you should be stashing, even if it looks like total blockage. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. And I don't think they're going to do this, and I think it's way overreactioning. But because of the team they have, it's not out of the realm of possibility that this team could move a Devers in a pitching heavy type of move, because they could then go and move Wilyer Abreu, let's say, to the DH or Roman Anthony, and they can go play in the outfield. Maybe you don't lose a whole bunch. You don't want too many rookies, but if a Devers ended up getting you, I'm just throwing stuff out here, a Dylan Cease, a Sandy Alcantara
too. Like,
well, it could be a multi-position major league pick. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they would end up doing this and that they could improve their team and it would open up a spot for a guy like Roman Anthony. But that might be a more mid-season move. I really don't think they do that, but we're just out here having fun speculating.
I think he's not healthy and he's got boo-boo face about DHing. I think it's a terrible combination. And right now, I agree with Welsh. It's tough to sell him. I think you could. I think you still get a lot for him if you want to. We'll monitor it
in real life. Not doing it in fantasy.
In fantasy, I think I'm entertaining offers. If somebody wants to blow me away, I'm listening. Before we get to the injuries real quick, My Playbook, that's how you manage all of your fantasy baseball lineups and dominate all your leagues. Download My Playbook now, fantasypros.com/MLB My Playbook, or just download the MLB My Playbook app wherever you get your apps from. Custom fantasy baseball news for your teams, rankings, analysis. Everything's right there. You can see the players on the waiver wire. And of course, remember, set all your lineups and all your different leagues and all your different sites in one spot with My Playbook. Let's get to the injuries. Of course, Max Scherzer's hurt because, well, baseball is back. Thumb, 15-day IL, so back with the thumb issue. Josh Young goes on the 10-day IL with neck spasm. Spencer Strider allowed 1 run in 3 innings in his rehab start, so that's good. Things are going in the right direction for him. Brandon Woodruff is going to throw a simulated game this week, too. We'll keep an eye on that. And also Colton Cowser to the IL as well. Heston Kjerstad is going to be starting today against the lefty Welsh. Get excited.
That's what they got to do. You have all lefties in there. But yeah, Cowser got hurt. This is going to be more opportunities for Kjerstad, which is, pretty solid. Deeper leagues, maybe it's a stash, but I feel like there's a lot of players. Like, I would rather still Manzardo. Like, I'm big. We talked about the waivers earlier. Manzardo is kind of high up that list. I would take Torkelson, Manzardo, and all them before, but maybe keep a lookout. Maybe he can hold, Kjerstad can hold a gig moving forward.
All right, let's get to a couple questions. We're going to lightning round some questions here. Cookie. Drop Kerry Carpenter or Garrett Mitchell for Victor Scott.
Yes. But if more specific, I would drop. I think Carpenter's just a monster platoon player. Maybe you don't like that. I'm cool with either one of them. I felt like my gut would be Garrett Mitchell because I wanted him for stolen bases, but Victor Scott's going to steal 50. So okay. Yes.
Fredicini Alfredo, great name. What do you think about Job against the Mariners today in Seattle? Would you throw him
I'm
out
okay.
there?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Seattle's offense has been absolutely atrocious early on. I do worry about Job throwing too many early strikes and stuff like that, but it's good stuff. I actually think it's a decent spot start.
Laker, St. Louis, Scott, or Victor Scott or Dylan Cruz?
Oh man, I actually think this is close. I'm going to stick with Cruz right now because like if you drafted him as high as you did and then you cut him after 3 games, I don't know what to tell you, but Victor Scott is going to make this super close and it may look silly later, but I got to hold on to Cruz.
Helio Ramos or James Wood?
I'm James Wood, but Helio Ramos.
I don't know if it's like a today thing. Like, I mean, if you're talking about long term, we're not in the same universe here. What about Drew Rasmussen? Plug and play him today?
Yep, absolutely.
I agree. All right, that's 2 for 2 on there. All right, let's get to some fun stuff. A little betting here. I've got best bets of the day. So does Welsh. And remember, if you want to place your bets, new customers can place their first bet over on FanDuel. Bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. So take one of these things and go win. Again, it's fantasypros.com/leading off. That is where you go to. Again, fantasypros.com/leading off to get that new offer for FanDuel customers. I noticed something in the comeback player of the year odds yesterday, and I bet them. And I bet another one this morning too. Jacob DeGrom is 3-1 in the American League. I think it's a good wager. Also, National League comeback of the player of the year. You've got Ronald Acuna, Spencer Strider. Ronald Acuna plus 280 right now. That's a phenomenal number. You could put a couple units on, and then Spencer Strider plus 380. So I'm just saying there's a futures market to be had right now. And those guys have not come back. So I would strongly recommend looking at that.
I like that.
My best bet of the day has to do with Christopher Sanchez. I know Welsh is in there too, but it really is the best bet of the day. I'm going over on FanDuel plus 112 on the 6.5 strikeouts. I'm also going to pair it. I'm going to bet that separately and then bet it along with the Phillies on the money line to win the game outright plus 144. How about Rafael Devers to record a hit under plus 165.5? There you go. So under the 0.5. So no more hits for Rafael Devers today, plus 165. And let's continue to troll the cold guys. I'm going to go unders here. I'm the new Undertaker. Michael Harris, total bases, under 0.5, plus money, plus 105. Welsh, what do you got for the people?
I love that. All right. Well, the couple things in here. My bet sheet is drunk. We have the South Carolina Gamecocks versus Cleveland. That is supposed to be San Diego. And I like Sanchez's new name, but I think it's appropriate because I might be a fade. I had one of the worst opening days I could have had. I actually had a good, solid Friday. Weekend was not great. Or Saturday was not good again. Sunday, I made one bet. We won it. I am got to pace myself. So I'm being very, very selective. Bad start, but feel free to troll on the other side of me. I can be your fade here, but I'm with you. Christopher Sanchez at the bottom. I'm with you. I am actually, but the only thing we're missing in here,
I think
that one,
Sanchez.
I got to tell you, that one is wild. That one's not even close.
It's like a sandwich. You know those people who say the word sandwich? It's the same thing.
It's not total bait. I don't even know what that is. So
look at Whips. Chris Welsh dishes. I think it's skinned meat. I want to say.
I'm dying.
Jay is silent, South Africa.
You know what? I might I might buy myself out of this bet. It's so messed up. That is a bad sign. It's supposed to be. I didn't do this.
It's terrible though because I bet it too. So now if you get out, I gotta get out.
No, but here's the difference. It's Christopher Sanchez 6+ strikeouts. I don't know what total bases under 0.5 is. His number on a lot of books are 6.5. I don't want to go to 7. I want 6. I got 6 at minus 135. So I went Christopher Sanchez 6+ strikeouts. It was not minus money. It was minus 135. So that one's crazy. He went around 80 mid innings. Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. He went around 80 and a half in his start last year, but Colorado, all 3 Tampa Bay starters have had 7 or more strikeouts against. Liddell had 7. So I am 100% on there. If you could take Christopher Sanchez total bases under, I would also do that. Ryan Nelson did get a hit as a pitcher, but it is 6+ strikeouts at minus 135. With that, I'm taking the Phillies run line minus 1.5 against Colorado. You got a good BVP on like Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, solid. So I like that. And then I'm going with not South Carolina Gamecocks, but San Diego Cleveland total runs over. It's at a low number at 8. But you've got Kyle Hart and you've got Luis Ortiz. I know you don't care about spring. Both of them got them things lit in spring. And you have 2 big offenses right now. Now, obviously, if Ramirez is not in, that hurts a little bit. But I'm going to go with the over 8 runs in that game, Philly run line, and Christopher Sanchez 6+ strikeouts at minus 135. Sanchez.
By the way, Ethan would have never let this happen. I just want to say.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
That never happened if Ethan was doing this. I love you, Callie. We're just joking around. All right, let's get to the home run calls of the day. Remember, you can go to your Discord and go make your home run calls at fantasypros.com/chat. It's where the cool kids are hanging out. Let's take a look at the home run board here, see how things are stacking up over the weekend. And look at that. George is up to 5. I can only assume he's just winning all the Yankees there. DJ Osborne at 4, along with Razor and Wonky Penguin. So that's the top of the board. The winner gets a Sammy Sosa autographed Cubs jersey this year. I like the throwbacks. I think that's cool. All right, here's my pick for today. It's the Juan in my heart. Juan Soto plus 380. Give me my boy to hit a home run today. Get me on track. I like to give everybody a head start every year, and then I start climbing up the ranks. So 2 for Juan Soto today would be great, but I'll settle for 1. Welsh, where are you going with your home run call for Monday?
Juan Tata made I did get a cruise missile last week. Shout out to O'Neal Cruz on the plus money total bases, and I got on the board, but I'm not on the physical board. I have 1 homer so far in the contest. I am going with said Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber, really great BVP versus Herman Marquez. I just like the matchup, even it wasn't a great BVP, righty pitcher there in Philly. I'm going to go with Kyle Schwarber. If you're on FanDuel, plus 240 on the homer if you bet the homers. I need to get on that board. I really thought I might be able to sneak on with that 1 homer, but didn't account for the torpedo bats.
No one accounted for the torpedo bats. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Make sure you subscribe to our Fantasy Pros MLB channel. Like this video. Drop your comments below. Give us your home run call of the day. Have some fun here. What do you think of the torpedo bats? Should they be legal? They are. Should they be? Drop your comments below. I want to hear from all of you, even the Yankee fans, about all this stuff. And remember, we're trying to get to 25,000 subscribers as soon as we can. The cart is full already on the Amazon with the Luigi and Mario costumes. So the sooner we get to 25,000, the sooner you get Mario and Luigi hosting the show. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your baseball.
Shajank you. Strank you.
Sanchez.
The chat's killing
like a
it.
Luchador.
That's a new meme. Sandwich.
I got a sandwich for lunch.
Oh, man.
While I watch Sanchez pitch.